Welcome to Scythesabre's Advanced Warding Guide. Today I'll be showing you a whole bunch of interesting ward locations. The first one is the Dire Ancients. This particular tree here, sort of bottom left of it, as close as possible to the tree as you can. And in doing so, you'll want to also eat this particular tree, which I've already done so. As you'll see, it blocks the Ancients, and it gives you vision of this Rune, so it's a handy one to have. When you're warding your sort of common Rune locations here, a slightly less common one is one placed directly here, but if you place it slightly above it, into this fire pit, you'll still have vision of the Rune, as well as you have a slightly more vision in this section as well. It's better on the Radiant than it is on the Dire. And it also dodges a lot of sentry wards in this middle area. When you do deward this middle sentry area, you'll see you see this pile of rocks, two sort of long-ish rocks here with a larger one. You want to place it on these two sections here, the two smaller rocks. That will deward most of your sort of Rune wards. Continuing on, Jungle Ward. Common one is to place anywhere along here, but the best location to place it is, you'll see this sort of white section here with this rock. So you want to line up with the middle of the white rock and the line, so like a few specks there. What that lets you see is this section along here, all of these choke points going into the jungle here, as well as lets you see into the lane.
Hitting my stride. On the move.
On the Radiant, placing a ward here is sort of a defensive version. It lets you see anyone heading up the ramp or going along these sections here. For the Dire, the offensive version of this one is to place it on this rock, this sort of corner where it hits the bushes.
Cut and run.
That lets you see anyone walking through this path, but sacrifices that ramp there.
Protect the bottom tower, or it will be lost. I steal ahead.
Optimal place to place one here is this particular bush here.
I run afoul.
That lets you see, if I was on the Dire that is, it lets you see a small slither into the middle lane, as well as all of these paths. Pretty good one to have. For blocking Radiant Ancients and seeing the Rune, you'll want to place it, see this bush here, the very bottom petal.
When you see me.
That will let you see if there was a Rune there. That would let you see the Rune, as well as block these Ancients.
They're attacking your top tower. Will they never stop?
Okay. Good place to place the ward that's often found in this area is, you see the gap in the second level of these steps? Just place it on the higher ground there. That lets you see this whole path along here. Ignore that, that's because we've had this ward blocking this section. See you up till about there-ish as well. This is better on the Dire side. It'll give you a slit into the middle lane here, as well as giving you a large chunk of the middle lane here, as well as this path.
Athwart my path.
The next one is directly on the corner of this large rock intersecting this sort of slightly lower section. That lets you see two little paths into the jungle, as well as a few little areas behind the tower. Good if you've lost your tower for the Radiant. Also good for the die if you want to see sort of any sort of TP rotations or anyone coming in. For the offlaner, when you start off, you can either place a ward to block this hard camp or to not block it. The best place to place it to not block it is, you see these two little stones here. There's a little T section. You place it right on the T. What that lets you do is gives you huge vision in these areas, as well as the path leading across here and up there without blocking the hard camp. Now if you do want to block the hard camp, the place to place it is on this rock here underneath the tree, just in the corner there.
Hitting my stride.
That gives you similar vision, slightly more over here, and up along this path as well. Another place you can place it is, you'll see a rocky L section right there. That lets you see into the lane, lets you see across, down along this path, and sort of within this section here. For dewarding, you want to place it as close as possible to this tree. And that should cover most of your typical pull blocking spawns. For taking the tower, you want to place it between this bush and this rock. Pretty much unobstructed vision along here, as well as gives you a few little sections within this path. Another good jungle board is, you'll get to this tree and this mushroom. So directly below this mushroom is another T section right there. That lets you see all along here anyone coming in through this path, as well as anyone walking in through this path. The other jungle ward, one to block the hard camp, will be, you'll want to align, you see a V in this section here? The tip, go directly across it and you'll see a dark patch, place it right there, and that will block your hard camp.
I see what they want. They're attacking the bottom tower.
That gives you pretty much all of these paths, but not so much this path here. If you do want better vision though, it doesn't block the hard camp. Again, the V, there's a little bone here. The middle of the V, line up with the bottom of the bone. That lets you see all these areas, as well as the bottom and side sections as well. A common area is placing it like directly in these rocks, but if you just place it on this bush here, it'll give you much better vision, optimized vision I should say, of these paths. Again, seeing into the middle lane, if you want to, you basically line it up with this path and this little growth right there, and you can see anyone walking through this area and basically sort of getting ready for a fight at mid. Another tower area is on the offlane. Essentially it's a little L dark scorched path within all these sort of features. You want to place it on the L.
Shrink when you see me.
And that will let you see a lot of rotations, as well as pretty much sort of like full lane vision along this section.
The path of darkness.
If you want better sort of like Roshan vision,
Tis a solemn
on this corner where the sharp pointy rock section is, you'll see anyone coming from here, coming from the paths here, going towards the Ancients, or heading down the ramp.
The wise flee my footfalls.
One rune ward that I forgot. You see a little white spot here, or two white spots. You want the sort of rightmost one. That will let you see the rune. This is sort of more useful for the Radiant, as well as a lot of this middle section. And pretty unlikely to get dewarded.
I run afoul.
One more area to see into the Radiant space. You'll see a few wards being placed in this direction, this area. If you place it on the sort of like opening of the log,
Cut and run.
it will let you see two sort of patches within the Radiant space, as well as giving you all of this vision, and sort of two little sort of slits into the middle lane in this, where it's obstructed by the trees.
I run afoul.
Again for the Dire. And I think that just about wraps up my advanced warding guide. Hope this was used to you. If you liked it, thumbs up. If not, let me know what I can do to improve. Thanks for watching.